Hi, this is Kerry Artek with Wicked Stocks, bringing you the daily Tesla report for Friday, November 4th, 2022. Before I jump into the charts, just want to encourage you to please click like each and every time you watch the daily Tesla report. We also have the daily Apple report. That's out every day as well through November. Click subscribe. If you haven't subscribed yet to the Wicked Stocks YouTube channel, it'll prize you notification each and every time new content has been uploaded to the Wicked Stocks YouTube channel, and that includes at least the daily Tesla and daily Apple report. And please share the content, if you would, with friends and colleagues. Just to back up a little bit and take a look that on Wednesday we closed back below this simple channel top. That descending flag at the bottom of a move is generally considered sort of an impending buy signal. We got that buy signal about a week ago. There was obviously an attempt at a rally, but not so fast. It came tumbling back. On Wednesday, we closed below the 217.73 channel top, and that set off a failure to follow through on a 2 to 3 week buy signal. That's a long way to say that set off a sell signal, because in my book, and it's not always true, but under most circumstances, when you've got a classic situation here where you settle above a formation like that, and when you close back below it, it is a failure to follow through on a meaningful buy signal, which is in essence a valid sell signal over a similar time horizon. So we had a 2 to 3 week buy signal into the upper 260s, and now we're in the midst of a 2 to 3 week sell signal where we're anticipating, let's just call it the mid 170s, the 173.61 to 182.01 band of long-term channel support anticipated over the next 2 to 3 weeks. And so this is sort of a reminder of what I've been saying now for the last couple of days. Let's take a look at, let me take a look at this chart here. This says a lot. I do want to mention, when we pushed through, and we did, this 217.73 channel top on Thursday, it was 218 and change on Thursday. We pushed through and hit a minor point that today is at 222.32. So it was at 220 and 221 and change on Thursday. It rises at 222.32 on Friday. I'm going to call it an intraday resistance level. If we push or open today above 217.73, 222.32 is likely. We can top out there initially, but I'd say get out of the way if we happen to push through that 222.32 formation, because I do believe 228.22 is likely. That is the high settlement price thus far following the October low, and it can contain daily buying pressures. But if we do close above 217.73, that sort of neutralizes the dynamic. Am I back to expecting the mid 260s over the next 2 to 3 weeks? No. I'll give you that signal in just a moment, but I do think 228.22 is likely within a day or two, and 233.81 within 3 to 5 days of closing back above 217.73. 233.81 is on this weekly chart. It is the high of the low from a couple of weeks ago. So 2 weeks ago, we put out the thus far move low around 202 and change, as I recall. And the high that week was 233.81. So on a week-by-week basis, we would have a meaningful buy signal into later November if we were to close above 233.81. I have this as a 2-star resistance area, but keep this level in mind when I switch to the next chart here. 233.81 becomes a 3 to 5 day target if we close above this 217.73 channel top. Once again, I showed it here better. So closing above 217.73, 228.22 expected within a day or two, within 3 to 5 days or less, that 233.81 level. And at this point in time, things may change a bit as we move into later next week, but at this point in time, our upward pivot point into later November would be a settlement above 233.81. And I want to say by the end of next week or at the end of next week, that may be a daily settlement. But I think at the end of next week, a week from today, next Friday, if we're trading above 233.81, then we're likely within a week or two of that continue onward and upward into the mid 260s, longer term resistance where we could top out through the rest of the year. But none of that is a reality. What is real right now is that we're still below the 217.73 channel top. And this market remains heavy, as I say, not only today, but into later November below it, anticipating a test of this. So we've got a couple things going on down here. We've got the 206.85 May low represented by this horizontal line, and the actual settlement low, the lowest settlement price this market has put out since the all-time high from about a year ago in November of 21 is 204.99, and I have that weighted as a session containment level. So on the way down today, 213.90, 209.32 is the most notable of the minor points. We can bounce off of 209.32 back to 217.73 on an intraday basis and play inside this region for a good part of the day, whether that's an hour or several hours. Breaking 209.32, expect the 204.99 level on an intraday basis. 204.99, able to contain session weakness, but I'd say be careful. Session containment only. I don't expect to bottom out here through next week. I do think that following the settlement Wednesday, back below 217.73, this market is prone to bearish continuation into the 170s, 180s. And if we settle today below 204.99, and we've seen that kind of volatility recently, closing today below 204.99, I do think by the end of next week, we should continue south into the significant zone of long-term support between 174.35 and 182.46. These are the same formations, but on the weekly chart. And they line up increasingly with a long-term Fibonacci level, a 5/8 downside on A, which is the COVID low. That is the biggest sell-off that Tesla had incurred in its short history. So this is a significant low. It's even more significant, of course, on the NASDAQ 100 and the S&P 500. But even for Tesla, it doesn't look like much, but it is a good point to use for your Fibonacci's. 5/8 is 172.77. So this area well equipped if tested over the next few weeks, and it's expected to below 217.73, able to contain selling through Q1 of next year, and we can turn higher from that point on. I do think that there's really not much else to say here for Friday's Daily Tesla Report. Please click like and subscribe. I'll be back Sunday afternoon with Monday's Daily Tesla Report, and you have a great weekend.